The stadium lights dimmed, and the roar of the crowd faded into silence. Cristiano Ronaldo stood on the pitch, shoulders heavy, heart pounding, not from the physical exertion of the match, but from the sting of defeat. It wasn't just a lost game, it was a test of character, a challenge to his resilience. In that moment, Ronaldo understood a profound truth: defeat doesn't define you, your response does. From his earliest days in Madeira, setbacks were part of his journey. Scouts overlooked him, rivals underestimated him, and early failures could have shattered a lesser spirit. But Ronaldo learned that disappointment is not a stopping point, it's a stepping stone. Every loss, every criticism, every moment of doubt became fuel for determination. Motivation, he discovered, doesn't come naturally after setbacks, it's cultivated. Ronaldo developed rituals to process defeat, analyze mistakes, and refocus on the path ahead. Journals, mental visualization, and self-reflection became tools to convert frustration into clarity. Each setback was a lesson, and every lesson strengthened the mental framework necessary for greatness. Even small defeats carried lessons. A missed pass, a blocked shot, or a goal conceded wasn't merely a mistake, it was data. Ronaldo would review footage, identify weaknesses, and transform insights into targeted training. The mind, he realized, must be exercised as rigorously as the body. Defeat, properly analyzed, becomes an advantage. Motivation wasn't about ignoring emotions, it was about mastering them. Anger, disappointment, and self-doubt were acknowledged, not suppressed. But they were channeled into action, harder training, improved focus, and smarter decisions. This emotional discipline became a hallmark of Ronaldo's journey from a talented teenager to a global legend. Ronaldo's mindset extended beyond personal performance. When the team faced challenges, he became a beacon of resilience. Encouraging teammates, maintaining composure, and leading by example, he demonstrated that motivation is contagious. The ability to rise after failure isn't solitary, it inspires everyone around you. By the end of that painful match, Ronaldo reflected not on the loss itself, but on the opportunities it presented. Each setback was temporary, each lesson was permanent. The story of a champion isn't written in moments of victory, it's forged in moments of adversity, when talent alone isn't enough, and mental strength becomes the deciding factor. And so, the journey continued. Each defeat was no longer a source of despair, it was a signal, a challenge, and a spark. Ronaldo learned that true motivation doesn't wait for success, it thrives in the face of setbacks, fueling the relentless pursuit of excellence. The locker room was quiet, the echoes of defeat still lingering in the air. Cristiano Ronaldo, however, refused to dwell on what went wrong. For him, defeat was not a punishment, it was data, insight, and fuel. Every setback sparked an internal dialogue: what could be improved? How could the outcome change next time? How could I rise stronger? Ronaldo's first step after a loss was analysis. Video reviews, tactical breakdowns, and honest self-reflection were part of a disciplined process. Mistakes weren't excuses, they were blueprints for improvement. Every missed opportunity, every conceded goal, every tactical error was catalogued and transformed into actionable strategies. Motivation was reinforced through goal setting. Short-term objectives, like improving sprint speed or accuracy, were combined with long-term visions of championships and records. These goals weren't abstract, they were measurable, trackable, and tied to every training session. Seeing tangible progress transformed frustration into purpose. Training after setbacks intensified. Ronaldo increased focus, precision, and intensity during drills. Physical fatigue was welcomed, not feared, it became a symbol of commitment. By physically pushing boundaries, he reminded himself that mental resilience is inseparable from physical preparation. Sweat and effort became the antidote to disappointment. Emotional regulation was equally important. Anger, frustration, or self-doubt were acknowledged but never allowed to dominate. Ronaldo used controlled breathing, visualization, and meditation to calm the mind, redirect energy, and reinforce confidence. Motivation, he realized, isn't a fleeting feeling, it's a cultivated state of mind. Ronaldo also drew inspiration from past triumphs. Remembering victories, moments of brilliance, and times when perseverance paid off helped maintain perspective. Setbacks were temporary, the bigger picture of a career, records, and legacy remained unchanged. This perspective prevented despair and fostered sustained motivation. Support systems mattered too. Coaches, teammates, family, and mentors reinforced belief, provided guidance, and offered constructive feedback. Ronaldo understood that motivation isn't purely internal, it thrives in a supportive environment that nurtures growth and resilience. By the end of the day, after reflection, targeted training, and emotional recalibration, Ronaldo's mindset had shifted. The sting of defeat remained, but it had been converted into drive, focus, and determination. Every session, every drill, every decision was now informed by the lessons of failure. Setbacks were no longer obstacles, they were the foundation for comeback, growth, and future victories. The stadium was tense, the echoes of a recent loss still fresh in the minds of the team and fans. Cristiano Ronaldo knew that the mental battle began before the first whistle. The real test wasn't just scoring goals, it was inspiring belief, focus, and resilience in himself and his teammates. As the match kicked off, every movement was intentional. Ronaldo's sprinting, positioning, and decision-making reflected not just skill, but the mental clarity born from processing setbacks. He led by example, every high-pressure pass, every challenge won, every header fought for was a lesson in perseverance. Leadership was visible in action. During moments of struggle on the pitch, when opponents pressed hard and errors threatened confidence, Ronaldo maintained composure. He communicated calmly, guided younger players, and reminded the team that setbacks are temporary, but effort and focus are permanent. Motivation, he demonstrated, is contagious. Attitude can influence the outcome as much as skill. Halftime was a moment for reinforcement. Ronaldo analyzed plays, highlighted what worked, and suggested adjustments without blame. Instead of dwelling on mistakes, he emphasized actionable improvements. His approach reinforced the philosophy: failure is an opportunity, not a sentence. Goals were not merely celebrated, they were lessons in momentum and morale. When he scored, it was about more than the scoreboard, it was a signal that persistence pays, that effort leads to results, and that a positive mindset can shift the tide of a match. Teammates, inspired by his example, found renewed energy and confidence. Even under intense media scrutiny and fan pressure, Ronaldo remained unshaken. Cameras, commentary, and social media noise had no power over him on the pitch. The focus was internal, executing strategies, maintaining form, and motivating those around him. He transformed external pressure into internal drive. By the final whistle, the team's performance reflected the culmination of lessons learned from previous defeats. Every play, every decision, and every demonstration of resilience illustrated that setbacks were temporary. Ronaldo had not only led by example but had instilled a culture of perseverance. In the locker room afterward, reflection replaced frustration. He emphasized learning, preparation, and mental readiness for the next challenge. For Ronaldo, every setback, every criticism, and every lost match was an integral part of growth. Motivation, he showed, is not fleeting, it's a disciplined practice that fuels consistent excellence. Victory is celebrated, but true greatness is forged in defeat. Cristiano Ronaldo knew this better than anyone. Every setback, every loss, every moment of doubt had been a teacher, shaping a mindset capable of enduring pressure, criticism, and disappointment. Resilience was not innate, it was trained, honed, and nurtured. Ronaldo's daily routine included mental preparation as much as physical training. Meditation, visualization, and goal setting became tools to maintain focus and perspective. He imagined the challenges ahead, rehearsed responses to adversity, and reinforced confidence in his ability to overcome obstacles. Motivation, he realized, is built before it is needed. Long-term goals kept short-term failures in perspective. Records, championships, personal growth, these were constants that guided every action. Setbacks were temporary, the vision of legacy and excellence was permanent. Ronaldo never allowed a single defeat to define him, he allowed it to refine him. Mentorship and support networks played a crucial role. Coaches, family, teammates, and advisors offered guidance, encouragement, and constructive feedback. Ronaldo understood that motivation thrives not only within oneself but also in an environment that reinforces resilience and growth. He became a mentor in turn, sharing his philosophy with younger players and inspiring them to embrace challenges. Rituals of reflection ensured that lessons from defeats were internalized. Journaling, reviewing performance, and identifying actionable improvements transformed disappointment into a blueprint for success. Emotional awareness allowed him to process anger, frustration, and self-doubt, converting them into focused determination. Even as fame, media scrutiny, and public expectations intensified, Ronaldo maintained equilibrium. Pressure became a signal, not a threat. Criticism became feedback, not a barrier. He learned to thrive under conditions that might paralyze others. Motivation was not a fleeting emotion, it was a discipline, a mindset, and a lifelong habit. By the end of his daily cycle, Ronaldo's reflection was clear: setbacks are inevitable, but resilience, preparation, and perspective determine who rises stronger. Talent opens doors, but consistent mental strength, hard work, and disciplined motivation sustain excellence. Every challenge, every defeat, and every criticism became part of a narrative of growth and triumph. For aspiring athletes and anyone striving for personal excellence, the lesson is undeniable: True motivation is cultivated, sustained, and reinforced daily. Cristiano Ronaldo's journey teaches that setbacks do not weaken, you either let them define you, or you use them to become unstoppable. For CR7, there is no other choice but the latter.